Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to our launch webinar for our maintenance and repair service layer. It's actually a big day today because today we'll be closing the circle, as we have this last piece ready for our value chain layer, which we'll show you later. So welcome everyone and thanks for joining today. Um, I think it's almost symbolic that we're actually having this last value chain layer as the repair and maintenance service companies, because it's a key element for prolonging the life of the products we have. But more on that later. My name is Kristine, and I work in the ready2LOOP team here at DTU at the section of Design for Sustainability. And with me today is Giovana Gomes, a postdoc researcher here at DTU. Welcome, Giovana.
Thank you, Kristine.
Hello. And Giovana and I will be leading you through this webinar today. And if you can change the slide. Yeah, so I don't know how many of you saw the launch of the circularity gap report last year. It showed that we are only 4% circular. So it's the Circularity Gap Reporting Initiative from the Dutch organization. And just hinting back to what I said previously, they showed here that it's only 4% of the material that we use that is recycled back. And we need to close the gap. And if we take the next slide, and just a little bit on the circular economy, what we actually need to do is that we need to change the way we use our resources. We have very scarce and limited resources out there. And we need to create an economy where we can create value out of the materials we use that is decoupled from the consumption of finite resources. You can also say it short here down in the corner, that is the decoupling value creation from resource consumption. And then, yeah, Giovanna, please just show the next model here. So this is four generic principles of circular economy that shows that we should use less, and when we have a product, we should use it longer. And when we finished with using it, we should loop it back to reuse the material in new products. And the 4% is the close the gap here. But what we are looking at today with the repair and maintenance services is how we can use it longer. So as you see here on the top, the loops here. So that's the focus of today. And just a big welcome. And yeah, just for those of you that have not seen the platform before, I'll just let you know what it actually can do. It's a platform that can support you with more insights into your organization. And the key element here is the readiness assessment. That's the next one. Yeah, and the readiness assessment and the readiness profile can then show you your strengths and opportunities that you have going forward. And also what it can do is that it can do a benchmarking of your organization against others. So it can show you how well you're doing compared to the market. You can do also a benchmarking internally in your organization. But what really is key to these three elements is that you get more insights and knowledge of status quo of your organization, which is very valuable for you to use when you need to develop your next step to become more circular. And then the platform is providing you with a tool to do some important prioritizations, and then also to provide you with the unique tools matching how ready you are and what kind of organization you are. So there you should be really well equipped with how to design your action plan going forward. So that's a little bit on the ready2LOOP platform. And just welcome to everyone. And just also a big thank you to our sponsor, the Industry Foundation, and also a big thank you to all the collaborating partners we've had throughout the years. Yeah, so it's a kind of a celebration day today. Um, yeah, and we have around an hour together, 45 to 60 minutes. And in a few seconds, Giovana will take you through the next layer on our platform. And at the end, we'll have a Q&A. And as it's a closed cycle, we'll have the Q&A, just me and Giovana, reflecting a little bit on the new layer and what's coming next. But it's definitely not a closed cycle, because what's actually happening now is that we can invite all of you into the platform of industrial manufacturing companies belonging to that value chain. Now we have the readiness assessment ready for everyone. So we cover the entire value chain, which is very key in circular economy. Yes, I think that's it for me. So I would like to give over the word to you, Giovana.
Thank you very much, Kristine. We are very happy on ready2LOOP and celebrating this day. But maybe moving forward with the presentation, I think it is important to reflect why we are talking about readiness, why we are asking how ready your company is. And there are three important concepts or terms when you think about the circular economy transition. And they are the concept of readiness, the concept of maturity, and also the concept of circularity. So maybe before we dive into our results, we can reflect a little bit on why we are talking about and reflecting on readiness. So readiness is the willingness or the state for being prepared for something. And in our case, it's for being prepared, the state of companies for being prepared for the transition to a circular economy. And to measure readiness, we have developed a scale looking into whether companies see potential or understand there is an opportunity within circularity from the first stage. And these companies can develop their readiness by planning a pilot implementation of circular economy initiatives, by piloting those initiatives, and then scaling them up. So this is how we measure readiness. But then there is another important concept in terms of maturity. And in terms of maturity, we are talking about the degree of optimization and formality of process. So it's not whether that is relevant for a company, but how can I formalize that process? And there are also several scales and ways of measuring maturity. Here we bring an example. So it can be from an incomplete implementation of circular economy initiatives to an ad hoc implementation to an improved until the improved implementation and formalization of those processes. And then circularity. Circularity can be measured in many different ways. It can be measured in terms of how can we recirculate materials, how can we recirculate products, or how circular a company is. And we usually think about these flows in terms of reuse, remanufacturing, and recycling when we are measuring circularity. And in this case, we are we post here the percentage of materials recirculated. So this is a way of measuring circularity. Now that we know the definition of these three important concepts, why are we addressing readiness? As Kristine showed, Denmark is only 4% circular, and this is not a strange figure across different countries and across the globe. So we still have a lot of potential in achieving circularity. And targeting readiness is the way of understanding how we can move from a readiness concept to maturity, to implementing those initiatives in a formalized way, and then achieving circularity, achieving a recirculation of materials, products, and so on. And we can also, from readiness, achieve circularity. So from getting ready to transition, we can already see results in terms of circularity. And we are addressing readiness because it is the first step moving forward. If we have the other way, if we do know how circular a company is, it is not possible to understand how mature the company is or how ready the company is. So if I have a circular result, which is important, I cannot move back. So we are starting from the beginning of this scale and we are moving forward on ready2LOOP. So this is why we are addressing readiness. And the question that we pose here is how ready are maintenance and repair service providers or companies to make the transition to circular economy? And this is what we have been investigating for the past few months. So maintenance and repair service providers are those companies that focus on providing services to expand the product's lifetime via maintenance, via repair, via refurbishment, and upgrade. So we are talking about these companies. And maintenance and repair service providers are an important component on our value chain. So here we have this value chain integration, and we on ready2LOOP we are looking into the value chain because we see the importance of having all these different actors interconnected and collaborating towards a circular economy to achieve success. So what are the elements that are important for circular economy? We have seen the scale for circular economy readiness, but how can what can we measure through that scale? So we have been investigating for all these different value chain layers. What are the important elements there? And then we have different, as we call diamonds, different groups of dimensions and different groups of aspects or questions that can tell how ready different companies are to circular economy. So ready2LOOP, it is to an extent a customized tool and assessment regarding specific actors, specific layers on the value chain. So far we have 7 out of 8 value chain layers on our platform. And today we are launching the 8th layer, the final layer on our value chain. And right now we are understanding what does the transition for maintenance and repair services look like. It might seem like a simple question, but we have actually went through a methodological process to answer that. We start with a systematic literature review. So we start looking into the literature for maintenance and repair services. We have analyzed 225 articles, and we have extracted data from 36 of them. Then, once we have collected the relevant data on literature, we have a validation workshop with industry partners and industry experts that can tell us how valid those results are, or if we are missing something from practice. And for that, we have consulted 4 organizations, and through their feedback, we have finalized our diamond with 6 dimensions and 21 questions. After we have the questions and the dimensions, then it's time to develop the recommendations. So companies that are joining ready2LOOP, after they answer the assessment, they get recommendations on how to move forward. And we also identify relevant tools to help these companies implement these recommendations and move forward with their transition. And for that, we have developed 105 sets of recommendations, and more than 40 tools were suggested for this particular layer. And now it's time to launch the layer. So this is the final process, the final step of our methodological process. And then here we can present for you for the first time the 6 dimensions for transitioning to a circular economy in terms of maintenance and repair service providers. The first dimension is organization. And here we are looking into the internal capabilities to transition to circular economy. Then we have strategy and business model innovation. how already companies are in developing strategies and business models to transition to a circular economy to bring circularity within their business. We also have operations. So how, to what extent are these companies developing capabilities to improve their operations within circular economy principles? Then we have customer relations, about the development of capabilities regarding engaging customers within repair and maintenance activities. Then we have technology and data. So the development of capabilities regarding the use of technology, the use of data analysis to improve circularity within a company. And last, policy and market. So understanding the readiness of policies and market, and how can your company influence that towards circularity. So these are the 6 dimensions that I'm going to present to you now one by one. So if we start with organization, we have 3 aspects or 3 questions there. The first one is, to what extent has your organization developed a business case for the circular economy implementation? How far is your company evaluating the risks and investing on circular economy? And to what extent is the organization internally building the capabilities to make that transition? And then here we have 2 examples. The first one is from Refurb. So Refurb is a Danish company that has been refurbishing, repairing, and reselling IT equipment since 2008. So maybe before circular economy became this huge topic as it is right now. And Refurb has developed its business case within the B2B market. So Refurb started with internal agreements between companies, and then repairing and reselling IT equipment in the market. Right now, Refurb has been able to scale that initiative, and it is working on the B2B, B2C, and B2G markets. Another example here is Patagonia. So Patagonia is a clothing manufacturer and retailer, but repair has become quite an important aspect of their business. Patagonia clothes have an ironclad warranty, which gives Patagonia the requirement of repairing clothes throughout their life cycle. So Patagonia is now investing on their own facilities for repair, and it's employing specialized technicians on that. So it is truly investing on repair and maintenance for the clothes sold. If we move to the second dimension, is strategy and business model innovation. Here we are talking about developing a long-term strategy that encompasses circular economy, how far companies are in proposing or developing new value propositions within repair and maintenance, how far companies are in defining new cost structures and new revenue streams regarding this new value proposition, and also to what extent are these companies communicating externally the value of circular economy initiatives and their business innovation towards that. And as an example, we have Norsk Ombrock that has a business based on the reselling of repaired white goods, mainly fridges, stoves, washing machines. And then Norsk Ombrock, they realized that many of these appliances that were discarded, they were discarded because of faults that could be easily repaired. And with their knowledge, with their repair knowledge, they have developed a cost structure and a revenue stream around collecting those disposed appliances, repairing them, and then providing a second life through a second-hand market. So this is how this company has repair and maintenance as the core of their business. And as another example, we have Hempel Group. They have developed partnerships with mainly component manufacturers in the maritime industry, and they are providing services for those for the clients of those component manufacturers. And they have done that with a specialized knowledge on those components, on those on the repair maintenance of those components. And this company provides this new value proposition around the services on repair and maintenance, mainly for the maritime industry. If we move to the third dimension, operations, it's not only about providing a service that is circular, so that is enhancing circularity for other companies, but also embracing circularity within your own operations. So here we are investigating to what extent companies are using circular resources within their own operations, how far they are in operating in a circular way, so minimizing the use of resources during the operations, how far they are in supporting the services after the initial agreements on maintenance or repair, how far they are in recirculating the resources. So if a company collects an equipment that needs to be repaired and replace a spare part or replace a component, is this company recirculating that component? Is it supporting the value chain to do that? And to what extent is the company repairing, controlling the repair and quality of their own operations, which is extremely important for this layer in the value chain. And we have here two examples. Car-centric solutions is a very interesting case. So they are actually supporting other maintenance and repair companies. They are also a maintenance and repair companies. But what they do is that they get the replaced parts and components, and they repair those. So the companies, repair and maintenance companies, are usually specialized in repairing the product in general, and they end up discarding spare parts. So car-centric solutions get those spare parts, repair them, and then recirculate them back to these other repair and maintenance companies, or even product manufacturers, component manufacturers, if that is the case. So they are, through their own operations, they are helping to circulate resources. And then we have Grundfos. So Grundfos has a business on repair and maintenance, and not only from Grundfos pumps, but they have this business around any pumps from any manufacturer. And what they do is that within their own agreement, they provide additional support from the services. So they have scheduled maintenance, performance evaluations, technical visits, and so on. So they are enhancing the results from their services through this additional support. Then we have customer relations, also in a very important dimension when we think about maintenance and repair service providers. And here we are investigating how far is your company providing convenience in terms of the services that it provides, how far it is in building the capabilities of its customers towards maintenance, towards repair, and to what extent is your organization engaging its customers in the service, in repair and in maintenance. And we also have here another Danish example. GreenMind offers convenience to its customers. So all the service that GreenMind provides, it repairs and resells technological products such as cell phones, smartphones, laptops, and so on. And they have a good tracking and transparency in terms of what those equipment went through, what is their current status in terms of quality, in terms of performance, in terms of aesthetic, and so on. And they also provide a convenience from a warranty, from providing warranty. So customers that engage with Green Mind services and Green Mind secondhand products, they get this convenience around repair and maintenance. And another example here is Close Doctor. So Close Doctor is a business on repair and on maintenance of within the textile industry. And besides providing repair kits and the service itself, it also provides a catalog of information and good examples on how to repair textile products such as clothing, footwear, and so on. So they are helping the clients to do or to perform minor repairs that are simple, that could be easily done. And then creating this engagement with these customers. So these customers feel confident that when they need something that is more robust or that it requires an expert, they can rely on this brand to do so. And at the same time, the brand is creating this awareness around repair and maintenance. If we move to the next dimension, to technology and data, here we are reflecting on how companies, how repair and maintenance companies are using technology and data, or how far they are using technology and data to monitor the products that they have repaired, they have maintained during use. So how they can monitor those products, and also through that, how far they are improving their service, the services that they are providing, how far they are engaging with their customers on the right time, and so on. And here we have an example from CAT. So Caterpillar is using technology and data to assist their clients. With this technology, clients can scan their product or their parts and easily identify what is the part that needs repair, or what is maybe even the repair that is needed from the client, and can easily communicate with one of the Caterpillar initiatives or repair and maintenance stores or technicians to help them solve their problem. So it's using data analysis and using technology to help them extending the lifetime of their products. And we also have an example from Tritemp, that is a manufacturer of coffee machines. And these coffee machines are embedded with technology from manufacturing that can help customers or users to map the performance of these equipments during use. And with that, the manufacturer Tritemp can also understand how well is this these equipments performing, when to have a maintenance visit, when it's needed repair, to which part is needed repair. So it's using this embedded technology within the use to provide repair and maintenance services. And as our final dimension, policy and market, we are investigating how far is our company understanding and influencing the market readiness for maintenance and repair services. To what extent is our company collaborating with your value chain to provide these maintenance and repair services? And to what extent is our company influencing sectorial frameworks or national and international legislation? And as an example, here we have a French enterprise, NV, and they are part of an association in France that is pushing and lobbying for the right to repair directive. So this company is directly involved in providing or boosting this framework to provide the rights to customers to repair their equipment in affordable and easy way. So it's directly influencing the market and the legislation in that direction. And as another example, we have DKN that repairs turbines for manufacturers, and they are collaborating with Rolls-Royce specifically to improve the operation or the performance of these engines. So when they get the information from the maintenance and from repair, they catalog that information and they send that information back to Rolls-Royce. So Rolls-Royce can improve the manufacturing process, the design process of these equipments. So in a way, collaborating with the value chain to extend the lifetime of their products. And these are the 6 dimensions that we have identified to transition to a circular economy, from organization until policy and market.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Giovana. I've been waiting so much for getting this opened up and dive into the last layer here. Yeah, so if we could change the slide, I want to just highlight a little bit the celebration part of it. So a big congratulations to you, Giovana, and to the whole ready2LOOP team. This is a big milestone in a project that has been going on for quite some years. This is a good milestone. Let's before we dive into the Q&A, let me show you a few slides here. So what now? What can you do? And how ready are you? So if you are curious on where you belong in the value chain and how ready you are, the platform is free to use for any company. So you can go online and you can build a profile, and then you have access to all the functionality after you have done the readiness assessment. Yeah, so here you see a little bit on the back end. So when you've done a profile, then based on that, we also recommend which layer you belong to, and then you can also choose one here, and then you can start your first assessment. And just to let you know, the repair and maintenance layer is open right now. We've just opened it. Yes, and this is the website, ready2loop.org. That's where you will find the platform. And the next part here is just highlighting a little bit what I already said in the beginning, but these are 3 of the main features on the platform. If we start with the center one here, the readiness profile, what Giovana just showed is all the dimensions needed to actually put some data and analysis on how ready you are. And when you have made that, you can do the benchmarking. And as we can see in small diamonds there, you can compare your readiness against external companies, or it could be another business unit within your organization if you're a larger organization. And to the right here, then we have the prioritization and the transition path. And actually what the platform is doing is also the recommendation part. When you have done the readiness profile, you can click on all the different dimensions and read very thoroughly a description text of the readiness state you're in, and then a recommendation on what to do next, what would be a natural step. And then it's guiding you through some prioritization of what dimensions that you could look into. And then it's providing you with a waste amount of tools in our tools library. And as I also said in the beginning, the great thing here is that by doing the readiness profile and helping you with the prioritization, it's offering you a selected set of tools that is suitable for exactly that state that you're in. So that is what is waiting for you on the platform. And just a little bit on the project. So it's, as I said, it's sponsored by the Danish Industry Foundation, and it's anchored here at DTU. It's a research project. And then we have a steering committee here with the Manufacturing Academy of Denmark, the MADE organization. Then we have the Danish Business Authority, and then the Confederation of the Danish Industry. And what we have done, and what is very key to ready2LOOP, is that we've partnered up with some consultancy companies, so Vegan Moe and Rumble, and there you can get help in the acceleration of your transition. So they can guide you through the process. And I think we have a slide on the process. Maybe that's I think it's coming up next. The next slide. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so what is actually next on ready2LOOP? That is that now we have concluded the entire value chain by adding this last value chain layer, as you can see here, maintenance and repair service. It's the 8th layer. So what is left is now we can do an assessment of all the different companies, and what will be focused on now in the project is the cooperation across the value chain. How can you do a value chain analysis of your full value chain? How can you select the right partners matching to the state of readiness that you're in, and comparing to potential suppliers out there? So it's really, that's the next big research that we will conduct in the project. But more about that in the Q&A. But just to let you know, we have a program coming up in January where you can join as a company, and then you can get support, call it a micro accelerator. You can get support on improving your business to become more circular by joining a course here at DTU. And it's open for packaging companies and product manufacturers and component manufacturers. And yeah, so you can sign up with this link, and you can get a group of master students to work on your case. So that's a little bit on the opportunities. Oh, and here it is, the slide. If you what you can also do besides joining us in January is to reach out to some of our partnering consultancy companies here, and then they will guide you through this process, where from 1 to 5, where they will help you engage the right stakeholders in your organization. What we have seen is that it's very key to the transition process to engage the right stakeholders and to pinpoint who to onboard in the process of doing the readiness profiling, but also the next step in the process. And then what is also seen as a value is the circular readiness assessment. It's the quality is increasing if you get an expert on circular economy to support you in this process. And also for 3, 4, and 5, of course, it's also an help to get some support on reflecting strengths and gaps, and actually getting some extra eyes and extra competences on identifying the opportunities that you have as an organization, and then setting out an action plan for that. So that's what you can get by collaborating with these 2 consultancies here. And then I think, yeah, we can show a little bit all the companies we have on the platform. I think we have more than 1,200 companies already. And so you can join all these companies by doing your own readiness assessment. Yes, it became quite a lot of companies collaborating with us so far. Yeah. So I think maybe we should just continue with the Q&A. Giovana, are you up for Q&A session, you and I?
Of course. Looking forward
Okay,
to it.
great. So yeah, what I have done is to cluster some questions in 4 different groups. So first of all, a little bit on the actual layer that we have just launched and that you have just presented in detail. And then I want to ask you a little bit on the value chain collaboration and the research there. And then just in general, what is the novelty of the research behind ready2Loop? And then at the end, let's finalize with what's next, a little bit more into detail. So
Perfect.
yeah, let me see if we go to the first question. Just a list here. Yeah, now you've presented a new layer. Maybe you could start reflecting on how it's connected with the other layers and how important it is compared to the rest of the 8 layers.
Thank you for the question. I think that's a super important question, and it's very relevant when we see the interconnection or the value chain, and that's the perspective that we are taking here on ready2Loop. So all layers, of course, are important. All the 8 layers on our value chain are important to the transition to circular economy and to the success of circular economy implementation. But specifically, maintenance and repair companies are very important to provide or to extend the lifetime of products, of components, and to realize that. So component and product manufacturers can design for repair, can design for maintenance. Customers can have the right incentive or the willingness to do that. But we need those providers. We need that expertise to deliver this value on our value chain. So that's how important repair and maintenance providers are for this value chain.
Yeah, yeah, and by all the examples you just showed, it really highlights all the different ways that you can actually belong to that value chain there. It can be an independent organization taking in external products, or it can be a brand owner having their own services in that area. So it really shows
Definitely.
the diversity of that stakeholder.
Yes.
If you should highlight anything very characteristic of that layer, so now you've shown all the dimension and all the key aspects. Is there anything that surprised you when you looked at how do we assess the readiness of these kinds of companies?
I don't know if this is a surprise, but it became somehow clear that many companies do provide maintenance and repair services, but it's not part of their core business. So they're lacking an opportunity of transforming those services into a business opportunity and to providing value to provide and capture value within our repair and maintenance. So with all the dimensions, different dimensions that we looked into, I can highlight that strategy and business model innovation is a super important dimension for this particular
Yeah,
layer. And also technology and data. I
yeah,
think that this layer in particular is very connected with the different layers in the value chain,
mhm,
specifically component and product manufacturers, product retailers, and then understanding the use or understanding behavior during use and performance during use and providing that information to these other value chain layers is super important
yeah,
to enhance the circularity of the value chain. So I
yeah,
think these dimensions maybe be a highlight
yeah.
on that case.
Thanks for that. And that goes directly into a little bit on the value chain. So you said it belongs to, it's very integrated, but then we have 8 layers. Why 8? Can you please remind us on that?
Of course. So ready2Loop is started from another research project looking into particularly product manufacturers. And then while developing, we have the assessment that we have on our platform for product manufacturers comes from this other research project.
Mhm.
And while developing the assessment in the platform, we realized that it is needed whole value chain effort to achieve success in circular economy. Product manufacturers are relevant, or repair maintenance service providers are relevant, but alone they cannot do the whole transformation. So we have investigated, starting from product manufacturers, what are the other relevant stakeholders and partners in the value chain that could boost circular economy transition. And then we came to the conclusion of these 8 value chain layers.
Yeah, great. Thank you for that. Let me see. Yeah, so maybe a little bit on we have the 8 layers, and
Mhm.
how do you as a company navigate which layer you belong to? Is that easy for a company to
On
select and to be aware of?
Yeah, so on our platform, when a company first sign in, they will indicate to us their industry sector.
Mhm.
And once they do it, we internally do our own investigation and research on the company. And then we suggest the most relevant layer for the company according to what we have investigated. Uh, but it is not uncommon that companies have several value chain layers. So they're operating in several different positions in the value chain. They're operating as manufacturers, as logistic providers, as repair and maintenance providers. And in that case, those companies can write to us, and we will, of course, evaluate the relevance, but then we can provide the access of these companies or for these companies on these different layers. So on our platform, uh, the same company can have access to different layers, to different evaluations, and that's super important because each evaluation is tailored to the specific needs of each value chain layer. So
Yeah,
if your company is in that position, we highly suggest you to write to us, and then you can have the evaluation on these different value chain layers.
yeah. Yeah, and I guess big organization they can often be they can have doubt on how much they actually have in-house of the different value chains, and so also the platform I guess then is supporting this, right, to get this
Of course.
overview of how much you have of control, or that's of course also depending on the size of the market that the organization is operating in. So you could have the full chain, but as a small player, you cannot influence that much. But then you can also, on the other hand, have a big company in one layer, and then they have a big market, so they actually control the other layers. So there's
Yeah,
this big dynamics in the value chain layers that are super crucial for the opportunities you have, right, for
yeah,
selecting.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the research. So you're the mastermind behind a lot of the research of the different layers. Can you tell us a little bit on the novelty? Because I know there's some novelty there, but what is actually characterizing it? Is it a unique assessment tool we have?
Yes, it is. We have come across other circular economy assessments or other ways to measure uh, um, the transition to circular economy in the means of readiness, maturity, or circularity. But here on ready2LOOP, we provide this tailored solution. So it is not a generalized assessment that fits to any company. It's something that is researched, validated, and developed for these specific value chain layers. There are similarities between those layers, of course, but there are these unique aspects or dimensions that really speaks uh, they speak to the companies within those value chain layers. So I think that's the highlight from ready2LOOP, providing that. And also, if I may expand, the assessment is a great tool. It's something that we have. It is very dear for to us, but it's not the only tool or the only uh, um, service that we provide within ready2LOOP. We also have the benchmarking, so companies on our platform can compare their results, can benchmark their results internally, but also externally with other companies. We provide a complete report on how these companies are doing based on their results. We provide recommendations for the companies to evolve on their transition. And we provide the tools that are necessary for this for the circular economy transition as well. So it is very complete in terms of providing a unique and tailored solution, but also with the support of a sound platform.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it's a very comprehensive platform and approach. So maybe you could highlight a little bit if on the limitations that exist.
Of course. So as we mentioned, ready2LOOP was born from the take of product manufacturers, and we are very integrated with that within that sector, within the manufacturing sector. So ready2LOOP doesn't necessarily match other sectors such as food, health, construction. There are opportunities there, but right now it was not built to those sectors. So there are specific elements for those sectors that we don't consider on our research.
Okay. So maybe we should just talk a little bit about the next step. So what is the next step actually in ready2LOOP right now?
I think a very important feature on ready2LOOP connected to the assessment is the benchmarking tool. And this benchmarking tool is something that provides data insights for companies. So how can companies position themselves in the market? How well they're doing compared to competitors, compared to other companies in their market. So it is our next step to populate the these layers on ready2LOOP to get as many companies as possible on our platform. Not only because of what we can provide, but also what we can do with that data. So providing this data insight that is more comprehensive, that is more robust to the companies that are on our platform. So I definitely see there as an important next step.
Yeah.
And we are looking into supporting as many companies as possible on the transition. So this is our goal within ready2LOOP, getting companies ready to transition. And definitely what we mentioned before, the value chain collaboration is a next step.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're really ready to scale it now, right? We have the full circle. It's ready for all the different companies there. Yeah.
Yes.
So you just mentioned the value chain collaboration. Is there anything you can share with us now? What will you be working on there?
We are mainly investigating within the value chain collaboration what are the similar or the common aspects within all these value chain actors that can promote a collaboration or can enhance a collaboration between them. So we have been investigating many different possibilities because ready2LOOP provides that to us. But we have been mainly investigating how can we support companies in addressing the right stakeholders, the right partners, and moving together for circular economy. As it is important, the individual readiness and transition path, it is also important and very relevant to do that together with partners. And it's probably easier as well. And this is something that we would like to enhance and boost with ready2LOOP.
Yeah. Thank you. Great.
And maybe I can also ask you a question right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we have been talking about ready2LOOP. We have been talking about the functionalities and the uniqueness of ready2LOOP. So if we have anyone listening right now that is hearing about ready2LOOP for the first time now, what do you suggest them to do? So what are the steps moving forward?
Yeah, but let's end with that one. That's a very good one. But they should go on our platform, right? And they can browse around. They can learn more about circular economy. they can check out the features. There's a little description on the platform for each of the different functionalities that we have, and then go and make a readiness assessment to actually open up the box even more, right? But then also engage different colleagues in the organization, invite them in. Actually, there's a feature on the platform for exactly this, and maybe carefully also inviting other value chain stakeholders to suggest them to look into this to kind of mature their own value chain. Yeah, and as we have the full circle covered now, we are also open for collaboration. So if anyone wants us to join an event or anything where we can highlight the particular dimension for a certain value chain layer, we can do so to actually populate the layers and to provide some value for a specific event. So yeah, we're ready to scale and to get it out there because now we have all the different layers. So I think that's my comment to that.
That is really
Yeah,
great. We have
but
loads of opportunities there, right?
yeah, exactly. We have 1 minute left, so I think we should use that one for saying thank you to everyone, and thank you to you, Giovana, for walking us through the layer. And I hope you will have a good day and reach out to us, as we just mentioned, if you're up for collaborating further. So thanks for listening in.
Thank you.